This place is a mess. Oh my God. What's going on, and welcome back. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for all the well wishes. I am still recovering from a sinus infection, but I am getting better. I'm feeling better, and now I can hopefully get back going on Project Stepchild and the 73 Nova over there. But I do want to say thank you to everybody that wished me well and a speedy recovery, because it has been a long one. Today marks 2 weeks, so it's been a long one, and it's been rough to say the least. But anyway, I've got a couple hours today to spend out here in the shop to do something with Project Stepchild, but unfortunately this place is a mess. I mean, it is literally a mess. I need to clean it up, because the next thing to do on Stepchild is the long tube headers, and I need to support the engine. So I'm thinking about using the cherry picker or engine hoist, however you want to call it. But I don't have room to move that thing around because there is stuff everywhere. And I'm going to show you, because, you know, be totally transparent on this channel. I'm going to show you what kind of mess I'm dealing with here. All right, so there you see it. I've got all this crap just laying around here. I need to straighten it up, and this is probably not the content that you guys want to see, but I mean, this is part of it. I mean, look at this. This is what happens when you've got, you know, 2 builds going on, and you know, you don't clean up along the way. So we're going to try to at least straighten up and at least get some content with the car in the video. I do want to get started on these long tube headers, because I'm really wanting to get that done and out of the way, because I've heard it's not very fun. But we're going to get this cleaned up and get busy on the car. So bear with me in this video. This is just something I have to do. I have to get this cleaned up, because I've got to get that cherry picker over to the car. I got to have room for that. I figured I'd throw this in the video. So here we go. Let's clean this mess up. All right, so as you can see, we're rigging up the cherry picker to the engine. Let me take you a little closer. You can see how I did it. I'm gonna shine a little light in here so you can see, but I am using a bracket that I bought when I did the swap in Coyote Ugly. So it bolts right to the head. This came as a pair of brackets. One goes back there. I'm not sure if I can get that one hooked up. That's why we're starting on the driver's side. But it bolts right to the head. 2 existing threaded holes. They're like 12 millimeter. They're huge. And the bracket comes up, hook the chain to it, and we're good to go. And that will support the engine. So now we got to remove the engine mount and see if we can get this driver's side header off, and yeah, see if we can get that done today. All right, so before we get started on this, we do need to lock the steering wheel down because there's a clock spring in there from what I understand, and it can unwind itself. So you need to hold the steering wheel still. So up here we just got a bungee cord wrapped around the steering wheel hanging there, and then another bungee around the seat bracket, and my lovely assistant Billy is gonna hook the bungees together, and that should be enough to hold it. I mean, it shouldn't really go anywhere. Those bungees are pretty tight. All right, so I changed my mind a little bit on these bungees, and what I did was wrapped it a little bit more on the steering wheel to get it a little more tighter. That way it's got good tension and that wheel shouldn't go anywhere. Can you see that? So it's got it wrapped around the wheel, wrapped around the seat bracket. You just want that steering wheel to not go anywhere. You don't want it to unwind the clock spring, from what I understand. So anyway, that's done. So now we can continue. All right, so I wanted to show you the actual motor mount. I'm not sure how well you can see it on camera. Put some light on it. There's that guy right down there. That's the top stud and nut for it. We got to take that loose, and then there's 2 more on the frame rail that we got to take off because we're actually changing these motor mounts out. So the whole thing is coming out. The piece going to the block and also the piece that sits on the frame rail. All of that's got to come out. And the part that sits on the frame rail is what we are changing to the Steeda engine mounts, which are polyurethane. So we got to take the whole thing out. There's one. Alright, so I want to give you guys a quick look underneath, see what I'm dealing with here. But I got the driver's side manifold off. You can see the gas is just hanging on the studs up there, but it looks like a lot of room right now. But once you get the exhaust up in there, it gets pretty tight. I did have to take the steering shaft apart. There's the steering shaft there, and I took the knuckle off. There's the knuckle there. I took that completely off. There's the other part of the motor mount. There's the motor mount that sits on the frame rail. So that's coming out. The new Steeda's going in. I'm kind of hoping to be lighter because that's actually got a little bit of weight to it. But there's the piece that bolts to the engine and then sits on top of the other engine mount. But this is what I'm working with. So now we're at the point we can slide the new header up there, and I'm hoping it will go over all the studs and I don't have to replace any of them with bolts, but we'll see. So I'm gonna grab the driver's side header and set up there and see what it looks like. Here we are. We have got the driver header in place. Hopefully you can see that. I'm kind of laying upside down and this header is right across my face at the moment, but still got to hook up the steering shaft, which look at right there, and it's gonna be close up there. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's gonna be pretty close there. Hopefully it'll clear. If not, I'll have to ding that tube a little bit, but it's either gonna clear or it's gonna slightly rub. Hopefully it'll just clear. But I was able, hopefully you can see, I was able to use the studs on all these on this side, so that was a super plus there. So, but other than possibly coming close to the steering shaft, I mean, fitment looks pretty good. The engine is still up a little bit, so it's not sitting exactly where it should, so I can't really tell in the back like how far the header hangs below the frame rail, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're gonna try to get this motor mount on this side, and that may do it for this video, but we're gonna try to get this mount on here, and this one might end with just the driver's side because this is very time consuming. It does take a while, but let me get to this motor mount. Let's see if we can get this on. Engine mount is back on the driver's side, so hopefully they will be pretty solid. So I'll probably pick up some NVH from them. I know that's probably gonna happen, so, but is what it is. We want everything as solid as can be because we are going to be drag racing, so we want it solid. But anyway, this header is done. Everything is tight over here. The engine mount is tight, all that, so we are good to go. We're gonna let the hoist back down so it doesn't have to hold the engine anymore. Everything is tight, so we are good on this side. And we can move on to the passenger side, but unfortunately that's going to be in another video. Still got to hook up the steering shaft there too, but unfortunately that is going to have to be in another video because this is very time consuming. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It just takes forever. It just does. But anyway, we got this in. Okay, so this is where we're going to wrap this video up. As you can see, the driver's side is on. I did go ahead and hook up the steering shaft. It's on there, and everything seems to be good so far. So now we just got to do the passenger side, and then we can move on to the clutch, transmission, and then hopefully drive this car. Big shout out to Billy there. Billy come out and helped me today. Yep. He did real good, man. I got to teach him the different tools and stuff, but he's learning. He actually come out and said what's happened, and I said, I'm glad you showed up. But that is it for now. So progress is progress is progress. Yes, we only got one side done, but this is a very time consuming process. Long tubes, and we got started late today. I wanted to start early this morning and it just didn't happen. It is what it is. But anyway, hope you like this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so because we're getting close. We are moving along here, and we'll see you on the next one.